What is it that we should do in the United States? Well, we still need a robust aid program. I think we have to reassess how it's working, because a lot of the focus is using traditional institution building techniques that do not work in the South for a variety of reasons. The Northern policy during the Civil War was to destroy as much traditional organizational structure as they possibly could do. They persecuted the church. 4 million people died. And there is a demographer, Millard Burr. There are a lot of silly estimates, exaggerated estimates of the number of people who died in Darfur. That is not the case with this 4 million estimate. Millard Burr is a PhD in demography. He did a study for the U.S. Committee for Refugees and tracked how many people died in the war. 4 million people have died from 1956. Almost no other civil war in the world, other than Afghanistan, suffered casualties like that. The destruction to Southern society was a policy of the Northern government since 1956. It's not just Bashir. It's been done by every single government in the North since 1956. And it's had a profound effect in the South. And we need to recognize that. So we need an aid program that assesses where the South is developmentally, which it has not done. It's trying to transfer things that work in other countries to the South, and they don't work very well. We need a different approach. Two, I think we need to try, personally, if the South wants to do it, only if the South wants to do it, to tie the U.S. economy, as we have in many other countries where we have allies. We've done this in Morocco, in Jordan, in Chile, in Peru. We're about to do it in Colombia, in Central America, and we've done it with Ghana. I think we have a free trade agreement with Botswana. So there are a number of countries in the world that are allies of the United States that are stabilizing forces in unstable areas where we've signed free trade agreements to pull down all of the trade restrictions between our countries. And that will encourage American investment in the South, which I think would be very good for the South. Secondly, I think we should, as a government, sign a security guarantee, a formal treaty with the South after independence that protects the territorial integrity of the South. Now, that is after these issues have been settled as to where the border is. I'm not suggesting the United States get involved in that other than as a mediator. But I think that we need to do what we did with South Korea after the Korean War, is a security guarantee and a formal treaty. Not station U.S. troops there, but an agreement as to how we will see any attack on the South. If the South remains stable, it will stabilize all of East Africa. The North-South war has destabilized the entire region for 50 years. Ask the Kenyans or the Ugandans or the Ethiopians. I mean, there were a lot of fears in Ethiopia and Kenya as to what was going to happen if the war started again. They were going to seal their borders because it's caused so much chaos in the neighborhood. Stabilizing the South is in the interests of all of East Africa. And it's, frankly, in the interest of the North as well. I think the North should know what U.S. intentions are. And the third thing is I think we need a large U.S. embassy in the South. Now, I've had people here who see the United States as an imperial power who wants to... That's not what I'm talking about. This is if the South wants it. Every Southerner I've talked to want a large U.S. diplomatic presence in the South. Why? It's an indication that we intend to stay there and have a presence. They want a U.S. presence. They want an alliance with the United States that's not based on this victimology thing where we see the whole South is a bunch of victims. That's how everybody perceives the South. The South is about to become an independent country. We should stop treating them like a victim.